Okay, I got a setup now where this is slightly misaligned. We've got a T that's sitting here. This is like something that was already broken but happens to be in here, and I'm having to deal with it. So how do I fix a situation like this without doing, say, a bunch of compression couplings, or like, you know, 3 slip fixes? What's the best way to fix that? So the best way, in my opinion, if you have enough length out this direction, you bend the last fitting in, but typically there's not enough space. So in that case, we're going to build to here, and then over here we're going to wind up cutting this and putting in. I'm going to have to use a quick coupler, unfortunately. So actually we'll do it on this side. The reason I have to use a quick coupler is simply because I don't have enough fittings. I've just used them up. So there's the quick coupler. There's the ring. Okay, let's build it. Okay, there's that piece. I'm going to cut that. Now here's where I typically just use my fingers. I don't always use a tape measure. A lot of times I will just simply measure with my fingernail by placing it on the pipe where it belongs, and then I will build the stuff, and then from there I will do the next one, which is what I plan on doing. So coupling, actually I don't need more couplings because this one wasn't short. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a little confused as to where I put everything. There we are. So the reason I cut that back the way that it was is because this is typically how you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with it where the fitting is either broken or something is broken to make you replace this T, and by doing it, you can't typically just cut alongside the T and bend this over. You can sometimes, but in most cases you're gonna have to build to one spot, or you build both of these out, which is exactly, I'm building one out. This one I'm going to assume that it was still long enough after cutting it that we were able to put it on. Just try not to waste too many fittings doing these demos. They're not super expensive, but everything has a cost. Slippy. Again, this is why you have the gloves. Now I'm getting really messy. Okay, now this can line up in that corner being square. It does have to be square. If it's not, if you try to do it like this, it is not going to go together because the angle has gone from being square to not square. Some arbitrary angle, I don't know. Now by the way, a lot of people will tell you, why are you using primer? Why do you use primer? Well, it states on it that you use it for anything pressurized. Well, what are you considering pressurized? If you're considering anything over, say, 30 psi as pressurized, then everything should be primered. So choosing something like Christie's, or Odie makes one too. Can't remember what the name of theirs is or what it is, but choosing something like that does give you the sort of primer in it. Oh, by the way, okay, here, push it together on the long side, push it into the short side. That's how you push those together. If you push it on the other one first, there won't be enough bend. Always do the long side first so that you can bend that in. Okay, anyway, the glue that has so-called primer in it, if you look at the ingredients, it's really just got, yes, it does have a, what you can consider primer in it, but it's not the same as using primer. If you're going to do that, you're taking the risk on yourself. Unless I'm doing just lateral work on something that's 30 psi, now I typically prime everything. I didn't used to have that same opinion, and then I saw a few things that started blowing apart on larger systems from people that were taking the liberty to not use primer. The smaller systems, you don't see that so much because there's a lot more room for error. When I say larger systems, I'm talking 2 inches and above for the pipe, not 3/4 inch, 1 inch, whatever. It's literally larger systems, like what you would find for a golf course or a park or something. Okay, so that's back together. One thing I need to note that I didn't do because I don't have to worry about it here. If you're pushing this on and there is no movement in the outer side of the pipe, you have no movement, you need to make sure if you're doing compression coupling, that your compression coupling is put on first. All the components have to be on the pipe. If they're not, you're not getting them back on. You're going to be cutting your stuff apart. So here I have the ability to move it, and most of the time you have the ability to move the pipe a little bit anyway, but not always. Now I'm going to slightly tighten that on so that I can help it use it to pull into this side. Okay, this one is slightly misaligned, which does show how this it is all the way down in. If it's not, it won't seal. Now if this was a main, I would most likely use a slip fix in this spot, not a compression coupling. But a compression coupling is what I have, so that's what I'm doing it with. Now I'm just opening this back up to make sure that this was not back down in. So I am going to move everything to push that down in. Use anything you can to push against it, as long as you don't mess up the gasket. Yep, it's in now, because it wasn't in, and that would have not sealed. No matter how tight it went, it would not have sealed. Now we'll assume that's tight. You've already seen a compression coupling done. Now, that is how you would put together a T versus putting together just a lateral line. It becomes just a regular straight line. In this case, it becomes a T replacement and then the lateral line just the main line repair, basically. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to be able to see this entire demonstration, or even if it's in segments, thank you for taking your time to be able to look at it. I will continue to try to put up videos. Please like and share and leave something in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you want to see. Anything at all.